Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news. This is the business of sports.
Sports are the greatest unscripted show on earth.
The next generation of players really grew up with tech and believe in tech.
Your face is your ticket. Your face is your wallet. Your face is your access to a club.
These are such iconic and important buildings for businesses, for fans.
COVID was one of the best things that ever happened to golf.
The NFL is a bulletproof business.
Racing's unique because there is absolutely no reason why we can't compete with the guys.
Come on, is pro pickleball real? Are people really going to tune into this?
If you're playing Moneyball with a huge bag of money, you're going to be really, really good.
Bloomberg Business of Sports from Bloomberg Radio.
This is the Bloomberg Business of Sports, where we explore the big money issues in the world of sports. I'm Vanessa Perdomo.
And I'm Randall Williams.
You know Randall as Bloomberg Business of Sports reporter and, of course, a friend of the show. But he's here joining me this week on the ground in San Francisco covering Super Bowl 60. Coming up today, we will speak to two of the greatest wide receivers of all time, Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens, as well as young quarterbacks in the game who are making waves in the league.
That's straight ahead on the Bloomberg Business of Sports. But first, we check in with Bay Area Host Committee CEO Zaileen JanMohamed on how they prepared the Bay Area for the big game.
Zaileen, welcome to the Bloomberg Business of Sports. Yeah. Tell me how you are feeling right now.
I feel a little bit of relief that we're finally here. I'm really excited. And there's so much energy in the market. And that's, it's great for the Bay to feel that. But it's also really great for visitors who are coming in to see everything that the Bay Area has to offer. So I'm excited. It's been awesome.
And tell me more about how everything is spanning across the different areas of the Bay, right? Because the game on Sunday is quite far from where we are right now in downtown San Francisco.
Yeah, so the stadium's in Santa Clara. I think it's about 60 miles from San Francisco. Obviously the home of the 49ers, so people who live here know kind of how to travel back and forth from wherever they are into the stadium. But we've been really intentional throughout this process together with the NFL to make sure that the entirety of the Bay is represented. That's important to us. We have 9 counties here, a lot of diversity across those counties, a lot of different types of people, a lot of people that want to show fans that are not from here who they are and how to be from Oakland, what Oakland vibe and style looks like, how to be from the South Bay, what that looks like, what the food is like. It's all different all the way across the region. And so we wanted to make sure that the events were spaced out so you could see that if you were visiting. So opening night was in San Jose. We had a supplier diversity event on Sunday night. That was in Oakland. Last night was Media Party. That was on the Peninsula. Obviously, now we're in San Francisco. We'll go back to Santa Clara for the game, and then we go to Oakland for a watch party. So we're trying to use as much of the Bay as we possibly can. I think it's actually really good for the region.
So it's obviously an advantage to have all those different pockets, but I can imagine there's also really hard way to really kind of figure that out.
I mean, operationally, we have to be really tight, right? Because you don't want people to spend their time commuting if you can help it. And so there's an operational plan that we have to put together, like how are people going to get from place to place? Last night, we went from Pro Bowl in San Francisco to the media party it was about a 30-minute ride. Where are your buses getting picked up? Which lane of the highway are you going to use to get? All of those types of things are part of the planning process. And to make sure that when you get to that media party, it's an awesome experience, right? So that you feel like this was something worth it to go to. So we're trying to think about all of those facets of when you're trying to move things out, making sure that experience is really good.
Yeah. So tell me more about the economic impact that the entire Bay is looking to see.
Yeah, so we've had a few events here, right? We had the NBA All-Star Game here last year at this time, NWSL Championships here in November. Super Bowl this week, and then the FIFA World Cup coming in the summer. Across all of those events, I know, it's crazy.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Across all of those events, about a $1.4 billion economic impact into the region, which is necessary, important, builds back our small businesses, and really helpful for a market that understandably had a rough time during COVID. And it's our job and responsibility to help kind of revive the Bay. But in addition to just economic impact, for me, it's about the societal impact and the community impact that comes through these events. It's how people who live here feel about how they represent the region. I want them to walk around with more swagger and more pride. And they should, because you win these events. That's something to be really, really proud of. And it's what we give back to our community, right? So this morning I was in East Palo Alto. We opened up a new field for all the kids that live there. First ever full-size football field in East Palo Alto, which is home to a number of NFL players. that have been raised out of that community, and just things like that that have legacy impact that's not economic in nature, but helps build youth into great, hopefully, football talent, but just human beings in the future.
I think it's interesting, when you're talking about that, and also the idea of hosting so many events and making that intentional with the $1.4 billion impact and what that really means and why sports is a big driver for economics and for you guys. Like, why was that important?
Yeah, sport is one of those things that just, it brings people together, and it's hard to say no to, right? There's always either the sport itself because you're a fan of the sport, but or the community that it builds around that sport. And so I talk about this a lot as like my own family, right? My kids are big sports fans. I'm a big sports fan. My mom, maybe not so much, but she'll come together when the community comes together because she likes the food and the music and all of the things that surround it. And that is important just in bringing community together and helps make society thrive when communities do come together. And so I measure it in so many different ways, like the money that comes into the region, but all of the qualitative things that are important for a community to actually build and grow.
Yeah. So obviously you have the Super Bowl and the World Cup coming up. When you're looking at these massive events, there's operational things like you have to say, figuring out logistics to go from here and there. But tell me more about the security operations that have to be put into place for events like this.
Yeah, Super Bowl is a great example, right? This is a Tier 1 event. They call it, I think it's the second highest rating in terms of the federal ratings of safety and security, meaning that it is an event that people are paying attention to. And for us, safety and security is the highest priority. You want people to come into this market to feel safe, to make sure that they can enjoy it in a way that they're not worried or scared. It takes all three levels of government to make that happen. So we are working with federal government, state officials, local government, and PD. All those groups come together with the NFL and with us to make sure that we are very coordinated in the things that we're planning and that make people actually, as they're walking around any part of the Bay, they feel really safe.
That was Bay Area Host Committee CEO Zaileen JanMohamed. Now we're going to check in on the real big money around this game, sports betting. This year could likely see another record-breaking year for sports betting across the country. On that, we speak with FanDuel President Genetski. Christian, welcome to the Bloomberg Business of Sports. Tell us about the volume that you're going to see this week.
We will see a lot of volume this week. I think industry-wide, we're thinking about most projections are around $1.7 billion in the legal regulated market on this game alone, and we will be, as the market leader, a big chunk of that.
How does that compare to last year and over the last couple of years, year over year?
Continues to grow each year. I mean, it'll be up, I think it was in the sort of 1.4-ish last year, so we'll continue to see more, and hopefully as we get more and more states legalized, and eventually someday a state like California will have legal and regularized sports betting. We will, we'll just continue to see the number going up.
So as that happens, obviously we're in the Super Bowl here in San Francisco. Next year is also in LA. As you plan the Super Bowls around states that don't have the legal sports betting, how does that really work for you guys, and how does it impede you guys?
Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, the vast majority of our customers are going to watch the game at home on their couch. That's where I'll be watching the game this year as well. And so a lot of our work around the Super Bowl is really aimed at those customers. And so, for them, the kind of the theme for us this year is it's the last call for football. I'm always sort of sad already that football is going to be over in a few short days. And so in the lead up to the game, we've been offering daily odds boost to our customers. You come back every day for a different odds boost on the Super Bowl. So we're building up to that online. We do have a big presence here, but a number of customers who are out here for the week with us. But again, the vast majority of our customers are going to be playing from home.
Obviously, it's the biggest, week of the year for sports betting. How do you strategize around that, knowing people are going to be across all of the platforms? How do you make sure you guys are unique in that way?
Yeah, I think we build off what we've been doing all year. So we have our Play Your Game platform. We've got our Super Bowl ad this year is going to run immediately before kickoff, so we're not going to be during the game. And again, as I said, it's a fun take on it being the last. It's a bar scene. It's the last call for football, and it's sort of a toast to the football season as the last thing you'll see right before we go to kickoff. And so, I think we're fun. We invest a lot in our product. We have a lot of things that are a bit unique to us, like live drive, same game parlay. So as you're watching in the game, say you bet on the Seahawks before the game started and the Patriots have a big lead. Most of America doesn't want to see that, of course, but if we're in that situation, you can bet drive by drive during the game and just sort of start over if you feel like Seattle's gaining some momentum. bet on a JSN over on that drive along with a Sam Darnold over and try to get yourself back in the game.
Well, like you said earlier, it keeps growing, right? Every year over year. I mean, an extra $300 million projected this year over last year. What is it is it just adding more states, or how do you continuously grow in the states that you've already been able to operate in?
So one obvious path to growth is, so we just launched earlier in December of last year in the state of Missouri. So we went from having no business in Missouri to the state being open, so you get sort of catapulted growth from new states. But we also, in our existing states, continue to grow. New Jersey was the first state we launched in 2018. We're still seeing year-over-year growth. We have new people coming onto the platform. I think we're now at a point where 50% of the country by population and 50% of the states have access to mobile online sports betting. And so we advertise more nationally now. We advertise the Super Bowl. We advertise during NFL football, NBA. And so people are much more aware of FanDuel generally. And, most people, even if you're in a state where it's not legal, most people travel these days. And so we have a lot of account holders who, when they go visit for work or for pleasure to a different state, they'll set up a FanDuel account. They're familiar with it. A lot of our users in Missouri were people who already actually had a FanDuel account because they'd used it someplace else, and so now it's in their state, and now they can bet from their couch too.
Yeah, absolutely. So how much of the year's revenue is based on this year? I mean, how much of your business can you really account for?
On this game?
Yeah.
So it depends on the outcome of the game, and unfortunately, we want our customers to do well. We want them to have a good experience. If we were only rooting for FanDuel's outcomes, you would see a low-scoring game with a lot of field goals, and the only touchdown scorers being, the backup tackle on a tackle eligible, which is we realize is not the most fun game. So, but for us, it will depend. The revenue will depend on the outcome. I mean, if you have a super high-scoring game where the biggest stars, JSN has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Kenneth Walker scores, and Drake May has a big day on the ground, that's not going to be as good a day for FanDuel. But we really think about the Super Bowl as the biggest day to celebrate sports, and we're a sports entertainment company. We want our customers to have a good experience. It's not going to be the last day that they spend with us, and so we really think about the Super Bowl as a time to have everybody's eyes on us. Really spend time in the app. Remember why it's fun to have your own stake in the game, and they'll be back around. So it's more of a big event, a big draw for customers.
That was FanDuel President Genetski. Up next, 2 of the greatest wide receivers of all time, Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens.
That's straight ahead on the Bloomberg Business of Sports. For my co-host Randall Williams, I'm Vanessa Perdomo. This is Bloomberg.
This is Bloomberg Business of Sports from Bloomberg Radio.
This is the Bloomberg Business of Sports, where we explore the big money issues in the world of sports. I'm Vanessa Perdomo, joined by U.S. sports business reporter Randall Williams. He's filling in for Michael and Damian this week.
We're on the ground in San Francisco for Super Bowl 60. Now we catch up with 2 of the greatest wide receivers of all time. First up, 3-time Super Bowl champion Jerry Rice. He's joined alongside NetApp Chief Marketing Officer Gabie Boko. This is like your 100th Super Bowl week at this point, right? How are you feeling?
No, man, every Super Bowl is special. Super Bowl 60. You got to think about that, and I would have loved for my San Francisco 49ers to be participating right now, but you got 2 great teams with the Patriots and also the Seahawks.
Gabie, you're here with NetApp, of course. I want you to tell me what you're doing that's special with Jerry, with the NFL. What makes you and your company brilliant?
Oh, I love that. NetApp is a data company. We believe that data is, it powers everything, and especially when you think about what it does for the NFL and what it does for the 49ers, and especially as it comes to life for Super Bowl 60, data is behind everything, right? This is the most intensive data sports moment for data in sporting. And what NetApp does is it basically creates this layer of we call an intelligent data infrastructure. It's basically what moves that data and allows the players and the coach and fans ultimately to experience the game at a high magnitude. I think what's really important, though, when we partner with Jerry is it's when you think about players like Jerry on the field at like a Levi's Stadium, this is a guy who has so many stats that have broken records. That kind of data combined with a field like Levi's Stadium, you've got kinds of data that really tells our story really well. So that's why we partner with Jerry. That's what we're excited about with Super Bowl, and that's why we're here.
Well, listen, I think you're going to be partnering with Jerry forever because some of his records are just not going to be touched.
I agree with you. We agree.
22,000 receiving yards. It's just not going to be touched. No one's going to play as long as you did, at the level you did, as long as you did.
I played for such a long time because I actually love playing football.
Sure.
I didn't play for the money. I didn't play for the stats and all of that. But I felt like I owed the fans something that was unique. Anytime you paid your hard-earned money to come to a football game, I wanted you to witness something that was going to be real special. I wanted you to leave that stadium and say, oh, my God, did you see him make that catch or score that touchdown or whatever?
Now, for you, Jerry, with NetApp, a lot of data. If you had
If I had NetApp back in the day and to have all that information right in front of me and be able to get that information so quickly and stuff like that, maybe I would have been able to double all my stats.
You think you would have had 40,000 receiving yards?
From the 22,895 yards, the 1,549 reception, the 208 touchdown, the 37 records or more, I would have doubled that.
So now tell me the ways that NetApp and data are impacting athletes in ways that they don't know, because we see a lot of teams hire data officers and bring in people from analytics. How is that impacting athletes from behind the scenes?
I think it's really how the coach takes what their strategy is and is using what the sensors are that are on players now, what's happening inside the stadium, and pulling all that together. And I would say the big driver for how to use data is AI right now.
Wow.
So when you think about how to bring AI into a let's say the Super Bowl Levi's Stadium data center, you're looking at it in not just 3K, 4K, you're looking at it in 4D. And that's going to help players change how they throw, how they run, how they catch, how they partner with their teammates on the field. And that's going to help coaches define the plays even better. We like to say that's the invisible layer, and that's truly the case. It allows players like Jerry to shine.
All right. Yeah. So why are you partnered with the NFL? Let's ask. Yeah. I want to ask that because
the
of the
hard
fact
question.
It's the NFL experience.
Amen.
That's it. It's the NFL experience.
You can speak to this.
Yeah. Because you're taking football global.
Yeah, you're taking it global. I don't care. It could be Silicon Valley. It could be any continents. It's just making it so accessible, for the fans.
Sure.
And which I feel like it plays a very important role.
That is absolutely the truth, right? When we look at how we tell our story, we want to make it approachable for everybody. And there's no greater base of customers/fans than the NFL.
Roger Goodell's mentioned 16 international games. Is that good for players? Do you think players actually want to travel, and not every single week, but to be going to Spain and to Paris and potentially Italy and Australia and so many other places? Do you think that's good for players?
I can't really speak on that for everyone, but if I was playing, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You wouldn't have a problem with it?
No, because I love playing football. I was one of those guys that actually went to training camp with the rookies, and I was a veteran. So I was always ready to go. But, that's going to have to be decided. But, if it was me, I would do it.
And Gabie, tell me a little bit about what NetApp is doing in terms of the international growth and the presence that you all have, not just domestically, but overseas.
Well, we definitely partner with the NFL as the presenting sponsor and partner of most of their, if not all, their international games, including their expansion games, which are being announced against his wish list. But we do it because we thought it was an important move because the NFL is spreading this fandom globally. And there are, as Jerry said, fans in countries that, at the U.S. sometimes we kind of think of ourselves, we do one thing. The NFL has fans everywhere, and we want to be part of a team and a company that takes that and expands it because data has no boundaries, right? Yeah. And nothing says that better than a sport that has fans around the world. So I think it's a great opportunity for the NFL. It's a great opportunity for the players. And who doesn't want more fans?
That was 3-time Super Bowl champion Jerry Rice and NetApp CMO Gabie Boko. Sticking with Hall of Fame wide receivers, a ring eluded him in his career, but he is still considered one of the greats. We catch up with NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens. Terrell, welcome to the Bloomberg Business of Sports. So we're in San Francisco, like I mentioned. You started your career here. When you come back, I imagine obviously you've been back since you were playing days, but when you do come back, is there always a certain sense of nostalgia, certain emotions that come up for you?
Not a lot of emotions. I mean, I wish I would have won a Super Bowl here. I tried my best, my damnedest to do my part to get the team what's been so elusive over the years. And I know the Niners, they've been knocking at the door over the last few years and haven't been able to get over that hump. But they've been plagued by a number of injuries, which obviously you play this game and you follow it. You know that it's kind of like not how you start, it's how you finish. And when you lose key players and you have key players injured and playing through injuries throughout the course of the year and they're not playing to their max. They're not playing at 100% level as the beginning of the season. It's hard to win. And I think with them, they have some pieces I think they need to acquire at the receiver position. They have some nucleus of guys by committee. They're still developing Purcell. Juwan Jennings, he's been kind of like their most consistent receiver, but he's not the dynamic receiver, like take the top off that they need at that position. But when I come here, man, obviously, coming up the 101, from the airport, I was telling someone, I'm like, man, I used to look off to the right and see when we used to drive to the stadium. You used to see that stadium off in the horizon, but now it's gone. There's no more. So just being here, obviously, like I said, I have some ties here. Had some iconic moments, some legendary moments here. Obviously, a lot of people remember the catch that I made against the Green Bay Packers, and then also a lot of people remember, obviously the moment that I signed the football with a Sharpie. Obviously you see my jacket here. So I partnered with them just recently with their Rookie of the Year campaign. So like I said, they got some candidates, Rookie of the Year, Roma Duze with the Bears, and obviously T-Mac. So they're making their marks on the field, trying to kind of replicate and do some of the things that I did on the field. I don't know if they're doing it as good, but I kind of set the standard. So everybody, like I said, remembers that game. Like I said, it's been replayed over and over. I don't know particularly during the Super Bowl year, but throughout the course of the year, obviously when you have different matchups and you talk about touchdown celebrations, that celebration always comes up. And everybody's like, well, how did that happen? Honestly, it was impromptu, and there was nothing premeditated about it. Literally just on the sideline right before I went out in the next series. Like, hey, Doc, there was one of the guys who's currently still on the staff with the Niners now. I asked him for a Sharpie. He gave it to me, and then I put it in my sock, and he was waiting for me to give it back to him. I guess he thought I was going to either black something out or write something on my like tape or something, which a lot of players do. And I'm like, no, I'm good. You can go ahead. So he left, and then I knew that on the confidence that I had in myself and my abilities, I knew that I was going to score on the next series going out. And surely enough, I did. And what was so ironic about it, we had a mutual friend, Sean and I, Sean Springs, who I scored on. We have a mutual friend, Greg Eastman, who I think does some business work with Sean. He was actually at the game, and there are some lower seats in the back of that end zone where I scored. I ended up giving him the football.
Oh, wow. So it came really full circle there. Yeah. So obviously we're here at the Super Bowl. We're talking about football, but I want to talk to you about a different sport that you're also really into, really passionate about. Pickleball.
Oh, yeah, I love pickleball. I got my bag over there, and my pickleball paddles are in there. Just in case they had this warehouse, this radio row here. I don't understand why they don't have a pickleball court in here.
You think there should be one, like, right in the center?
Absolutely. They should have a pickleball court in here somewhere. Just for, like, downtime of, people not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that line would be crazy long, though. People love pickleball.
Hey, see, I'm giving them, some
ideas. You're giving them
some ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be the Terrell Owens, sponsored by Sharpie pickleball court. Okay. Are you guys hearing this? You hearing this? Y'all hearing this? Yeah, I'm giving you guys some great ideas here. But I love pickleball. I just picked it up last year. I've been playing consistently, probably right around 10, 11 months. And so I've made some leaps and bounds since I picked it up last year. Shout out to Marcellus Wiley, who introduced me to the sport. So, you know Marcellus Wiley? He has his own show. He was on sports something with Michelle Beadle and all of them.
Okay.
So yeah, he played with the San Diego Chargers. We both live in LA. He converted his basketball court into a pickleball, and so he has this group thread that he sends out to a mass thread to everybody weekly, monthly. So for about 3 or 4 months, he kept sending me this text to come play pickleball, and I'm like, Marcellus, I don't even know how to play pickleball. I don't even have a paddle.
Yeah.
And he said, man, just come out, learn it, blah, blah, blah. So I went to a store, tried to find me some pickleball paddles, and I saw there was different brands. There was Vulcan, Selkirk, Head, Yola. But now I'm very familiar with a lot of pickleball players, the brands and the equipment.
Bloomberg audience loves them some pickleball. Our thanks to NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens.
Up next, we'll hear from 2 young quarterbacks making a big splash in the league. Jordan Love and Jayden Daniels are going to chat new business ventures and what they're getting into.
That's straight ahead on the Bloomberg Business of Sports. I'm Vanessa Perdomo with Randall Williams. You're listening to the Bloomberg Business of Sports from Bloomberg Radio around the world.
This is Bloomberg Business of Sports from Bloomberg Radio.
Thanks for joining the Bloomberg Business of Sports, where we explore the big money issues in the world of sports. I'm Vanessa Perdomo.
And I'm Randall Williams, filling in for Michael and Damian this week.
We're on the ground in San Francisco for Super Bowl 60, speaking to some of the top superstars in the game. And what better position on the field to highlight than that of the quarterback?
Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He joined us alongside Toyota North America's Vice President of Marketing, Dedra DeLilil. They begin with their unlikely and interesting story about their partnership.
Yeah, so this is one of those partnerships that it really started with the fans. The fans really took to the internet and, pointed out some facts that I might have been playing a little bit better during Toyotathon. And, maybe a conspiracy theory in there. So that I was a Toyotathon merchant, and that's really how it got started. And, I'm grateful to be a partner with Toyota.
When did you feel like, you know what, I'll start playing into it and really kind of live it up for the fans?
I think, the more I kept seeing it, obviously, I was trying to play my best in every game, but, the stats didn't lie. They kind of, kept going up and up during the months of Toyotathon. I think after year one, when the fans started pointing it out, we were like, all right, let's kind of take this and run with it. And people were like, are you scared that, it's going to mess up how you play on the field and jinx yourself? And I was like, nah, I'm grateful to be here. So,
Dedra, how often does something like this come up so organically, kind of just fall in your lap like this, especially with someone like Jordan?
I mean, it was a gift. It's so rare to happen, right? So, I think we appreciate Jordan just diving into this with us and being such a good sport about it. I think as a marketer, it's a dream come true when it's something that organically comes to you. It was 100% fan-generated, and it's a testament to Jordan and the fans of Green Bay, right? I mean, this came from them. They requested, they made a plea for us to work together. And so when that opportunity presented itself, it was something that we had to capitalize on.
And when did you say, okay, we're going to make this real, we're going to make it a partnership? Was it when Jordan had already said something about it, or when did you say, all right, this is everything?
It started from one fan on social media, and then commentators and influencers and fans just really started diving into the moment. And so when the chatter really started to pick up, we said, oh, this is something real. Fans truly believe this, and so we have to go to the source. And so we reached out to Jordan's team, and that relationship blossomed really quickly.
And one of the other cool things that we see now is that there's actually Panini cards, right, with part of your sweater that you wore with that Toyotathon sweater. Tell me about that. Are you a card collector?
So I'm not a card collector,
okay.
But I thought it was pretty cool. I saw the card for the first time, and it's funny because I had it when we first got the card, and some of the guys in the locker room were talking about it because they collect cars. They're like, hey, we saw the Toyota card that's coming out. We're like, we need to get our hands on that because we know it's going to blow up, and it's going to be one of those rare cars that not too many people get.
So a couple of the teammates have it?
No, I don't know if they have it yet, but I got one in my locker, and I know a couple guys were trying to get it off me, and I said, no, I got to hold on to this one.
How did that part come together, the trading card?
Yeah, so we really wanted to take Toyotathon, which has been a long-standing, really traditional, automotive sales event, and make it a cultural moment. And so we leaned into collectibles, fashion, and music to do that. And so, of course, first and foremost, I think the connection that we had with Jordan, we decided let's give the fans something really special and really immortalize this moment of Love-a-thon and the connection and the relationship that we have. So we reached out to Panini and we created 250 of these limited edition cards. We actually had pieces of the sweater that Jordan wore around when we announced our partnership around Toyotathon. And so it was something that we then distributed to dealers in Wisconsin and the Wisconsin area. And so in order to get one, and became really highly coveted, you had to lean into the partnership and...
You had to buy a Toyota?
No, I didn't have to buy a Toyota. That definitely helped. But I think you just had to believe in what we were doing and the magic of Toyotathon.
That's awesome. Well, I think a lot of people really want to know is how much has Jordan, really surpassed the Toyota brand? Has he helped sell more Toyotas for you guys? I know you extended it, right, in Wisconsin, the Toyotathon, right?
We did. We actually went as far last season as re-editing a existing spot to make it Love-a-thon versus Toyotathon. So, I think for us, it's all about partnering with athletes who share the same character, the same integrity, and, through partnerships with our athletes like Jordan, and I think particularly Jordan over the last couple of seasons, we are able to connect in a way with fans and bring them entertainment and added value, and it really helps position us as being more culturally relevant and really kind of in tune to our NFL partnership and the desires of the fans. So it's about being seen as exciting and innovative and really just part of this incredible cultural moment. So the authentic connection that we have with Jordan has absolutely amplified that.
Yeah. And you said it, you're a partner with the NFL and you had a game last night, right, that was to grow the game and with female athletes in flag football. Jordan, tell me about that and what the experience was like for you there.
It was awesome. That was my first time coaching girls flag football and really, seeing it firsthand. And, I'm very excited because I think that's an area that's just taken off and growing so much, obviously with the Olympics coming up and that being a part of it. I think it's an area that's going to keep growing in a sport that, was, I think, mostly thought of as a men's game for a long time. And flag football was mostly thought of as kind of a way to start you into tackle football. And now it's really taken off in a whole sport of its own and a whole category of its own. So it's awesome. I love to see it. I love to see the game growing. I love to see, women allowed to be able to play in this game and grow it to just an even bigger fan base and an even bigger love for the game. So it's amazing. I'm very excited. Toyota to be able to have that game last night in the dark. The glow-up game was it was an interesting twist on it, but it's awesome.
That was Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love alongside Toyota North America's Vice President of Marketing, Dedra DeLilil. Next up, we hear from another young quarterback carving his lane out in the league, the Washington Commanders 2024 Rookie of the Year, Jayden Daniels.
So, Jayden, you just concluded your second year in the league. Yeah. Talk to us about what these first 2 years have been like for you. What are the biggest lessons you've learned so far?
You just got to go through adversity in your life, whatever you're pursuing. So that's kind of just what I've been through. Obviously, you have the first year, second year, but you kind of just learn from the little lessons that you have to go through, whether good or bad. So that's kind of where I learned from there.
What are the highlights of your career thus far? You're just, however many games, let's say 20, 25 games in. Yeah. But what are some things that you can look back on right now, and you have so many more games left to play, God willing, that you are like, that was cool?
Obviously, you go with my first year, I had a lot of highlights. Even this year, I'll probably say the biggest highlight was being able to, as a professional, go back home in front of my crowd when we played the Chargers. And,
great game.
Get a win in front of a lot of people that came to see me play. It was my first game as a professional, so it was like a surreal moment. Yeah. But also, I'll just say all the adversity I dealt with this year, to be able to learn that, be able to persevere, still push through. I look at it like it's a lesson. I get to learn more about myself and who I am as a person moving forward in my career.
Yeah. So as you move forward with your career and you look ahead to this season, are there things you're trying to do in the off season to make sure You're ready to go, stay healthy for the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think you always got to reevaluate after each year and kind of have a team around you that's on the same path and alignment for what you want to achieve. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and we started that. So I'm looking forward.
Anything new you're trying out?
I can't give away my sauce. But I have.
So let me ask you this. A lot of the talk of the town this week is adding an extra game to the season. 16 international games. You want more football?
After being in the league, it's a lot. That's a lot of games that we already played.
So Joe Burrow has mentioned, we need an extra bye week if there's going to be an additional game. And there's been no negotiations. I should go on the record and say that. But 18 games sounds like a lot.
18 games is a lot.
So for you, you're here with Xfinity. Tell us about this partnership.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing a great job. Talking to them has all been the loyalty to their customers. They're holding a 3-day concert for their customers. So they're really showing the love and appreciation to the people that are invested in Xfinity. So it was a dope opportunity to be able to partner with them.
3-day concert here, right? During Super Bowl week, right?
During Super Bowl week. So they're showing love to their members for sure.
Book it. If you had to book 3 different people for a 3-day concert, just start throng some people out there. I know you're an LA kid.
All right, Kendrick.
Okay.
That makes him
headliner.
happy.
Okay.
Headliner.
I'm going to have to just go all West Coast.
All right.
Shout out to Bino and Blast.
Yeah.
And then, if he was still alive, Nip.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's stay on music a little bit.
Come on.
Name the top 5 rappers on the West Coast right now. Don't say Kendrick because we already know he's elevated.
Don't put me on blast.
The reason I ask is I say separate Kendrick because of the fact that he's cemented himself into GOAT status. You know what I mean? Like,
I would say I don't know. I got 5. I say Kalen for
Yeah.
Shout out my dog. Being on blast. 310 baby.
Yeah.
Who else we got over there? The Blue Bucks kind.
Yes.
So it's all of them, man. I listen to all y'all.
You're booking the next Super Bowl halftime show. Who you're booking?
It's in LA. It's in LA next year. It's in LA next year.
Yeah, that's true. I love my West Coast people, but I probably have to book Youngboy. I probably would have to book Youngboy.
Oh wow! So Jayden, as we're talking about, your partnership with Xfinity, and I feel like your partnerships and your NIL was really documented well in the Money Game, the series on Amazon Prime. When you're thinking about deals, how has it changed from college to your pros? How have you gone about that in your business now?
I mean, all you got to align with my brand and who I am. So obviously, I've been blessed enough to partner with a lot of different top tier brands and companies, and obviously, the team I have around me as far as my marketing and people like that, man, they do a great job of bringing me deals, and they know me at this point. So it's kind of like they don't bring me nothing they don't think I would really want to. So I've been blessed enough to partner with a lot of brands that I've really grown up and dreamt about doing that, and now I have the opportunity to be able to go out there and partner with them.
All right, last one from me, I think. Don't hold me to it. Give me a brand you haven't partnered with that you want to. He got it?
Man. Yeah, I did.
Who was that?
Get it. Gatorade.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
We're about to head over to their activation center later.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see y'all there.
That's gonna be a big thing for you over there when you head over there. How's it like? If you've always wanted it, how's it feel to know that you're now partnering with them?
It's dope. I mean, this year's Gatorade. Last year I was blessed enough to partner with Beats. So it's most definitely hard to be able to do that and really I see all the commercials. You grow up, see all the Gatorade commercials, you see the Beats by Dre's, stuff like that. So be able to have those type of partnerships, continue to build throughout my career, man, is awesome.
That was Washington Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels. And that does it for this extra special week reporting from San Francisco ahead of Super Bowl 60.
Thanks for joining us. Tune in again next week for the latest on the stories moving big money in the world of sports.
You're listening to the Bloomberg Business of Sports from Bloomberg Radio around the world.